G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I've got another client tree here today. It's a juniper spumata or procumbens or prostrata, one of those. Probably prostrata, which is very close to procumbens juniper. It's a client tree that I thought, it's going to be interesting, but it's incredibly challenging. Now, I would like to talk about challenging trees. Now, the reason it's challenging, we'll go through in this video. The difficulty with this tree is probably trying to identify the front of the tree when you're trying to get the best front. Now, at the moment, you can probably see the trunk line. I cleaned that up, so you can see there's a nice, very not the thickest from that angle. It's quite slender. It's got this big, heavy branch, really heavy. Can you see? I don't know if you can see from there. And it's it's actually coming forward, so probably the camera can't really tell, but it's coming forward a lot, so it's really in the front of the tree. Now I think the owner had this as the front originally, or the other way. I'll just drag this way, or something around there as the other front. Now there's a nice big gin here. That's interesting. They've got a very heavy branch here and that huge branch I was talking about there. The rest, the apex, is just the apex. There's not much else. Now, the difficulty with this tree comes about as the front. Which front are we going to choose? Are those two options. Now, once I show you this other bit, then you'll realise that neither of those options are what we need to choose. You can see the nice brown wood of the live vein. Now, once I tilt this tree in a different direction, you'll see what the issue is. If I start moving it around, you're probably just seeing there's some nice dead wood. And now, if I tilt it up, so you can have a look, do you see the nice hollow? There's a beautiful hollow in here that leads up to the dead wood. So that is the most interesting part. Now that starts to get wider and you have a bigger trunk, but you kind of lose the movement in the trunk. So it's really, both the fronts that were originally, the pot was potted in, I guess, are no good because it doesn't show the dead wood at all. It just shows the live vein. So that just shows live vein. And that just shows live vein. Okay, we need to see the dead wood. Now I've been moving this tree in so many different directions trying to get the best view. There's two possible fronts because this tree is all about this hollow and this dead wood and the blending of the live vein with the dead. This hollow is absolutely awesome and it's got to be the feature of the tree. The rest we can deal with. These branches aren't the prettiest. A lot of them have got very deep wire scars and actually the wires embedded into the branches as well. So it's going to be really hard to deal with, but we will get that. But the most important is the front. I will adjust the tree to the front, so I think I like it. Now, a really nice front, I'll ignore this branch probably, is in here. Try to put it there. But what I'll do is I'll zoom in and you can see when I position that as the front, you'll be able to see the live vein here and the hollow in here. It's probably a bit more round. Let me just get it right. Probably, there we go, it's probably in there. Now you can start to see the live vein and the dead wood, interesting movement, really cool. This branch, this lower branch is kind of in the way, but that's okay. But that's really nice, and I'll have a show you this other spots. You can still see the movement in the trunk. You still see movement in the trunk. But yeah, something somewhere around there is a very obvious. It was a very nice front. This took me quite a while to come up with something in this area being the best feature until getting the tilts right in how the tree should be repotted into its new angle. The rest is going to be a bit of a decision-based process of what do we keep, how's the tree going to look, That's the next hard bit. The other option is probably if I tilt the tree a bit more that way, and you can see the total, you can see the hollow and this dead wood in here. The only problem is in here, you start to see reverse taper. This was an option, but this reverse taper is not very attractive, and it's something you'll need to see. You need to see all this lovely deadwood features. There's not going to be any branches I'm going to really come in and block that. None of these are going to really work in that position. So that was the other option. But I think number one option is the best option, is somewhere around there. You don't see the reverse taper. It's kind of, you see how it's nice and slender. You see the dead, beautiful, and then the beautiful base. The next issue is there's absolutely no branching low down. The branching starts from, this is the lowest branch, is this big heavy one that comes into here, and there's another heavy one that goes out into here. Can you see that? They're the two lowest branches. Everything else is in the top. There was a branch at the back here. It's dead and it's been, ginned, but there's nothing else. So that's why it's difficult. Difficult trying to find the front. Difficult trying to work with branches that are really high, but we're going to have to come up with some sort of cool tree with it. But I think the hardest thing's probably been decided. The front of the tree. That really leads me to now design the rest of the tree. I'll be left with a really nice, is a pretty much top heavy kind of tree, but I'm just going to try and pull a lot of these lower branches downwards and work through it. But really the focus of this video is difficult, challenging trees take time to figure out what the best result is. Like, I've been moving this tree around so many different directions, trying to get the best angle, and this is probably the best. Hides the negatives, shows the positive.
I just want to show you a close-up of this branch that I was talking about. Hang on, let's just do that. So we see it starting all the way up here, gets very skinny, then gets very funky and crazy looking, gets big knobby there. It's not a very good branch. You can just see the wire. There's wire bits sticking out of the trunk, so the wire's fused into the actual branching. Look, here's another example. So yeah, I just want to quickly show you a bit more closer on this branch, and this is what it looks like width-wise. It's from here all the way to over here as a branch. It's just too much. What I've done is I've given the deadwood a treatment of lime sulfur, so it can actually stand out, and I'm hoping you can now, probably can't see, I'm bringing, so you can see the base that I'm talking about, and the hollow, the beautiful hollow that it's got. It's really the highlight of the tree, that bit. Looking at the tree, I did show you the difficulty of using this branch. If I eliminate that branch, I'm going to be left with just the top foliage and this big branch at the back here. So really, I just my thinking is this tree is perfect for a literati. Now that I've created that deadwood feature, the bends and twists, it's got a beautiful twist in here. You can see that now, beautiful and clear. There it is here. This bit nice and beautiful and really cool. Yeah, and just needs to highlight that. So, and this is really a bad branch. I mean, if it was healthier, had a bit more layers, I could probably use it, but again, trying to tell a story with this branch would be difficult. So I did ask the owner if he's okay with me making a drastic change like this, and he was happy for me to do it. Literati is one of his most favourite styles anyway, so it's going to be interesting to deal with, but yeah, this is going to be eliminated. But I'll leave it for now. I always leave it for now and work on the rest of the tree and to design it and come up with a design. So I'm just going to start to wire out branches and see what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep, and progress slowly. So I've just started the process of wiring, and I've only started on these branches here, this area here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 branches, and I've wired them so they can really make nice pads in the future. Nicely wired up. I'll chop on my hand. So yeah, just starting the process. That's where I start. I started here, cleaned up these branches, and then started to wire them and pad them out, just like normal, just like you've seen on my videos in the past. There you go. Alright, so I've been wiring away, and this is the side profile of the tree now. This is the more to the front, and then this is the side. Now this would be the back. Now you can see this bit is that back branch that was inside. It's actually really long and obtrusive and sticking out there. So it gives you a good idea. Where you can't really see that from the front, but you can definitely see it from here. So I'm going to reduce it back to that. So I've wired these branches, smaller branches around here, but I'm going to eliminate this branch. I'm going to leave a little gin on it, just so I can, I don't know, just maybe we can use a little gin here in the future, but the rest is going. Don't need. So that's it, it's gone. I've left this much of a gin for now, but I'll make that a lot shorter. I just want to show you that quickly. I didn't want you guys to miss out on cuts. I know people like to see how cuts happen and why, but you saw how that was really far out. Now look at the depth back. There's only nice little depth branches. That's all you need. You don't need those huge ones. I just got to wire this one now. There's one branch here. I just got to wire in place, and that's it for the back really. And I'll just do a little bit of a gin here. Create a bit of a gin just quickly. I score around it. My pliers. Peel the bark. And now you can see by eliminating that branch at the back there, much cleaner lines, much nicer tree to look at. Now, I just wanted to show you quickly this other bit. Now, I've done this side. Now, I need to work on this side. Now, I have a branch here that if I use this branch, it'll end up being about the same level as this. And it'll be very square. For me, it's wrong. That's kind of in the wrong place. Now, I can either go lower or take that off and make it higher on this side. So make it a higher position that side. Now for me, because the tree's moving in this direction, these should be the longest branches. So I'm going to keep this shorter. I hope that makes sense. The tree's going more in this direction. The lower branches, the low branches, these are the lowest branches. This branch should be a bit higher. So I'm just going to eliminate. There's just this one branch here that's just too low. I tried to move it around and try and figure out what I need to do, but there's no real point having it. It's only got a little bit of foliage at the tip as well. A little bit of foliage at the tip, so there's no big loss. There's lots more healthy branches in there. So I will create a little gin for that and see if I'll keep it. If I don't, I don't. But that's just wanted to talk through that. The symmetry, especially on literati, I want this side shorter, this side longer. So that's what we're going to aim for, and having this ginned. So hopefully you can see the tree coming along. Hey everyone, so just a quick update how I'm progressing. You can see pretty much that much of the tree has been wired. I've just got the fluffy head now to do, and you can see the look of the tree looking really nice. As I said, the only bits left is this bit. Wire it all down, fill it out, and it's looking good. You can see the direction with this branch going this way. I kept this side quite short. So it's a little bit high. You can see just a little bit higher than this side. You can now start to see, because I lime sulfured the deadwood, you can just start to see it better. I will put another coat on it, I think, but looking really nice at the moment. Come along well. It's got the nice movement. Looks like a nice literati. I'm not sure how this looks, but I'm trying to do a quick overview over the top view of the wiring, and you see how well spread all the branches are. Alright everyone, so here's what the tree looks like right now. Haven't done anything with this big branch, but you can see the beautiful structure that's been created in this section of the tree. Looks beautiful, I think. Hope you guys like it. Now we're going to get to deal with this branch. So, it's always hard to get rid of such a big strong branch, but we'll see what we have to do with it. But anyway, here's the before look. I mean, here's the finished look of this tree. As I said, looks really nice. I'll put another lime sulfur on this and get stuck into it. And let's deal with this branch now. Alright everyone, so before I reveal the results, some of you may picked it, but I was fibbing a little bit, and here we go. So I didn't gin off the whole branch on that side. I kept a portion of it just to create a small little secondary kind of element, something a bit more dynamic. Now, it's not to say the owner can actually gin that in the future, but I just thought it created a bit more dramaticness to this tree. It does have a nice gin. I've left that really long one, I've ginned off. There was 2 branches there that I had to gin off. But then I kept this, created a little mini kind of tree in there. Does need some time to develop. The rest of the trees, as is, still beautiful. Now you can see the front a bit better, where I've indicated. And the tree's quite dynamic. It is literati with a little side tree there. Looks quite interesting and dynamic. I just liked it. But very important reason why I didn't get rid of it as well is to do with this live vein here. Now, I believe this vein here feeds this long branch. Now, if I kill that branch off, I would kill this live vein off. Therefore, I won't have a live vein and deadwood together simultaneously. It will just be dead, and it'll look more like a tanuki or a phoenix graft, which I'm trying to avoid. So that's very important. That's another reason why I didn't kill that branch off. Maybe it will reduce in time a little bit because I've reduced quite a bit of that branch, but overall it's yeah, that's one of the main horticultural reasons why I didn't remove it. But aesthetically, I really like it. I really like this part is beautiful. You can always just have this tree, but if you're going to have this tree, you've got to be careful. You might lose this vein, lose this live vein. That little tree there will develop over time, and I think it adds a very dynamic element to the tree. Something a bit more, people will talk about it. I'm sure right now people say, that's ugly. Well, I love that. And that's what this tree now has, a bit of a story. And people can go, oh, that's ugly. Yeah, exactly. Different people have different thoughts on it. But anyway, I really enjoyed working on this tree. The only thing I'll do now is lime sulfur or the deadwood again. Watch out for the wire. And it's coming up a tree. Came up really nice. I'm really happy with it, and I'm sure the client will be really happy with it. The other thing is, I didn't actually remove that much foliage. I actually used quite a bit of the foliage. The main bits of foliage I removed was these 2, and I think a branch in there, and that's about it. So I can repot this tree at this time of year because it's spring here, coming into spring, and this will be easy to repot into a nice new pot. I believe the owner has a pot in mind, so this is him for have a look at the tree. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that bit of dynamicness, bit of change. But some of you may have picked it, but some of you may not. But very important, leave a branch you're not sure of as well. That was another lesson. If you're not sure of a branch, you're not sure you're going to use it, leave it alone, and it will come together. Hope you liked it, guys. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments either which way you liked it or didn't like it. But yeah, all good. Take care. See you next time.